An astronaut, having breached the confines of Earth, returned with a tale that shook the foundations of conventional theology. He had seen God, but his description was unexpected, even perplexing to some. God, he claimed, was black. This anecdote, recounted by Alan Watts, serves as a powerful illustration of the limitations of human perception when attempting to grasp the divine. It underscores the inadequacy of our language and imagery in encapsulating a reality that transcends our everyday experience. The astronaut's vision challenges our preconceived notions about God's appearance, forcing us to confront the profound mystery at the heart of existence. It compels us to look beyond the familiar, beyond the anthropomorphic projections we often impose upon the divine. This experience, though seemingly simple, opens a door to a deeper understanding of the nature of God, one that goes beyond form, color, or any other attribute we can easily comprehend. The blackness the astronaut encountered was not an empty void, but a vibrant, living presence. It was a darkness that seemed to contain all things, a cosmic womb from which all creation emerges. This image of God as a boundless, undifferentiated ground of being resonates with mystical traditions across cultures and throughout history. Watts uses this story to invite us to shed our limited perspectives and embrace a more expansive view of the divine. He encourages us to approach the mystery of God with humility and awe, recognizing that our attempts to define or categorize the infinite will always fall short. The astronaut's encounter reminds us that the divine is ultimately beyond our grasp, a truth that both humbles and liberates us. Alan Watts' own spiritual journey mirrored the astronaut's experience in its embrace of the unknown. Initially an atheist, Watts found himself drawn to the vitalism of thinkers like Henri Bergson, who saw life as a creative force, an élan vital, pulsating through the universe. This exploration led him to Eastern philosophies, particularly Zen Buddhism and Taoism, which resonated deeply with his evolving understanding of the divine. Watts's early atheism stemmed from a rejection of the anthropomorphic God often presented by organized religion. He found the idea of a supernatural being dictating morality and intervening in human affairs both intellectually unsatisfying and emotionally stifling. Eastern philosophies, however, offered a different perspective, one that resonated more deeply with his own observations of the natural world and the interconnectedness of all things. He discovered in these traditions a profound appreciation for the mystery and wonder of existence, a sense of the sacred that permeated all things. The Eastern emphasis on direct experience, on meditation and mindfulness, appealed to Watts's desire to move beyond dogma and intellectualization and encounter the divine directly. Through his study and practice of Eastern philosophies, Watts came to see the divine not as a separate entity, but as the fundamental ground of being, the creative principle that animates the cosmos. This understanding resonated with his earlier explorations of vitalism, but now it was infused with the wisdom and insights of ancient spiritual traditions. Watts's journey was a testament to the power of open-minded inquiry and the transformative potential of encountering different ways of seeing the world and our place within it. One of Watts's most significant contributions to theological discourse was his critique of anthropomorphism, the tendency to project human characteristics onto God. He argued that this tendency, while understandable, ultimately limits our understanding of the divine and creates a false dichotomy between humanity and the sacred. Watts was particularly critical of the patriarchal imagery often used to depict God, arguing that it reinforces hierarchical power structures and perpetuates a sense of separation from the divine. He pointed out that even Jesus, who often referred to God as Father, was limited by the cultural context of his time. The language and imagery available to him were inevitably shaped by the patriarchal norms of his society. Watts suggested that if Jesus were alive today, he might choose different metaphors to convey his understanding of the divine, metaphors that transcended gender stereotypes and emphasized the all-encompassing, nurturing aspect of God's nature. Watts's challenge to anthropomorphism was not intended to diminish the importance of religious imagery or language. He recognized the power of symbols and metaphors to evoke emotional responses and connect us to something larger than ourselves. However, he urged us to be mindful of the limitations of these images and to avoid mistaking them for the reality they represent. He encouraged us to explore different ways of conceiving of God, to move beyond the limitations of our culturally conditioned perceptions. Watts believed that by expanding our understanding of the divine, we could also expand our understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos. Watts further challenged the conventional image of God as a lawgiver and punisher, a stern patriarch sitting in judgment. He argued that this perception of God as an external authority figure creates a sense of fear and estrangement, leading to a religion of subservience rather than one of love and liberation. He questioned the ingrained human reverence for authority figures, often symbolized by the long white beard, suggesting that this reverence often stems from a desire for security and certainty rather than a genuine understanding of the divine. He argued that true authority lies not in external rules or commandments, but in aligning ourselves with the natural order of the cosmos, with the flow of life itself. This alignment, he believed, could not be achieved through blind obedience, but through a deep understanding of our own nature and our interconnectedness with all things. Watts proposed that the universe is not governed by a set of rigid laws imposed from above, but by a dynamic interplay of forces, a cosmic dance in which we're all participants. He saw the divine not as a detached ruler, but as the very ground of being, the creative principle that expresses itself through the ever-changing tapestry of existence. This understanding of God as immanent within the universe, rather than transcendent and separate from it, had profound implications for Watts's view of religion. It shifted the focus from obedience to an external authority to cultivating an inner awareness of our own divine nature and our interconnectedness with all things. Alan Watts delved deep into the concept of interconnectedness, drawing heavily from Eastern philosophies, particularly the idea of oneness. He believed that the sense of individuality and separation we often feel is an illusion, a veil that obscures our true nature. According to Watts, everything in the universe is interwoven in a vast, intricate web of existence, where each part is inextricably linked to the whole. In Eastern traditions, this oneness is often described as the fundamental reality behind the apparent diversity of forms. Watts echoed this sentiment, suggesting that the boundaries we perceive between ourselves and the world around us are not fixed, but fluid, ever-changing. He used the metaphor of the ocean to illustrate this point. Just as individual waves are part of the larger sea, so too are we all expressions of a single underlying reality. This understanding of interconnectedness has profound implications for how we live our lives. When we see ourselves as separate from others, it becomes easy to fall into patterns of competition, conflict, and alienation. But when we recognize our oneness with all things, we begin to cultivate compassion, empathy, and a sense of unity. Watts believed that this shift in perception could transform not only our personal lives, but also our collective experience as a society. He often spoke of the importance of realizing this oneness through direct experience rather than intellectual understanding. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and contemplation can help us peel back the layers of illusion and touch the deeper reality that connects us all. In this state of heightened awareness, we come to see that the divine is not something separate from us, but the very essence of our being. By embracing the concept of oneness, Watts invited us to move beyond the superficial differences that divide us and to recognize the profound unity that underlies all of existence. In doing so, we open ourselves to a richer, more harmonious way of living, one that honors the interconnectedness of all life and celebrates the beauty of our shared journey. As we continue to explore the teachings of Alan Watts, we are reminded that the journey towards understanding our true nature is not just an individual endeavor, but a collective awakening to the oneness that binds us all. Alan Watts was profoundly influenced by the Tao Te Ching, an ancient Chinese text attributed to Laozi. This seminal work offers deep insights into the nature of reality and the underlying principles that govern the universe. Watts often referred to the Tao, which can be translated as the way, to illustrate the fluid, dynamic, and ever-changing nature of existence. The Tao Te Ching teaches that reality is not a fixed, static entity, but a continuous flow, much like water. It emphasizes the importance of aligning with this flow rather than resisting it. Watts echoed this sentiment, suggesting that our struggles and suffering often arise from our attempts to control or manipulate life, rather than surrendering to its natural rhythms. In this view, the Tao represents the ultimate source and essence of all things, a boundless and ineffable force that pervades everything. Watts described it as the underlying pattern or order of the cosmos, which can be observed in the cycles of nature, the changing of seasons, and the spontaneous movements of life. To live in harmony with the Tao is to embrace simplicity, humility, and a sense of wonder. One of the central teachings of the Tao Te Ching is the concept of Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. This does not imply passivity or inaction, but rather acting in accordance with the natural flow of events without force or struggle. Watts believed that by practicing Wu Wei we can achieve a state of balance and inner peace, where our actions become harmonious and effective like a perfectly timed dance. The Tao Te Ching also speaks to the interconnectedness of all things, resonating with Watts's own views on oneness. It suggests that by recognizing the unity of existence, we can transcend the illusions of separateness and ego, and experience a deeper sense of connection with the world around us. This alignment with the Tao brings about a profound transformation in our perception, allowing us to see the divine in the ordinary and the extraordinary in the everyday. As we delve into Alan Watts' interpretation of the Tao Te Ching, we are invited to reflect on our own relationship with the flow of life. Are we resisting and struggling against it, or are we moving with grace and ease, attuned to the rhythms of the universe? By embracing the teachings of the Tao, we can cultivate a sense of inner harmony and a deeper understanding of the nature of reality. In the next chapter, we will explore how embracing this unseen reality can lead us to a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. But for now, let us contemplate the wisdom of the Tao and its timeless message of harmony, balance, and unity. Alan Watts often said that understanding the nature of God and spirituality is not something that can be fully grasped through doctrines or dogmas. Instead, he emphasized the importance of personal experience and inner wisdom. Watts argued that traditional religious images of God, often depicted as an all-powerful external being, can create a sense of separation and fear. He encouraged us to look beyond these images and explore the divine within ourselves and the world around us. For Watts, God was not a distant figure sitting on a throne, but an intimate, pervasive presence that can be felt in every moment of life. He believed that true spirituality is a deeply personal journey, one that requires us to look inward and connect with our own inner wisdom. This journey is not about following a prescribed set of rules or rituals, but about cultivating a direct, experiential understanding of the divine. Watts often spoke of the mystical experience where one feels a profound sense of unity with the universe. This state of being allows us to see beyond the illusions of separateness and recognize the interconnectedness of all things. In these moments, we realize that we are not isolated beings but integral parts of a greater whole. He also emphasized the importance of living in the present moment, suggesting that the divine can be found in the here and now. By being fully present and open to the experiences of life, we can tap into a deeper sense of spirituality that transcends words and concepts. In essence, Watts invited us to embark on a journey of self-discovery where we explore the nature of God and spirituality through our own experiences and insights. This journey is not about reaching a final destination, but about continuously deepening our understanding and connection with the divine. As we reflect on Watts's teachings, we are reminded that spirituality is not something that can be handed to us by external authorities. It is a personal and transformative journey that requires us to trust our own inner wisdom and embrace the mystery of existence. But for now, let us contemplate the wisdom of Alan Watts and his timeless message of inner exploration, unity, and personal experience.
Thank you for joining us in exploring Alan Watts' profound perspectives on the nature of the divine. If this discussion resonated with you, please like this video and share it with others who might find it insightful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to stay updated on future explorations into philosophy and spirituality.